Hey you guys, happy Wednesday. Hope you guys are doing well, and I'm so excited to be here cooking up a delicious Louisiana dish with Bergeron pecans, one of my favorite things. So we're gonna get started here in just a second. We're gonna make sure a couple of folks are on with us. And let me adjust that a little bit so my head's not chopped off. And we're gonna get started here pretty soon. And I hope everyone's doing well. So I am, so many local things happening in this dish today. First of all, I'm using Louisiana drum. And if you come to any of my cooking classes, we're teaching a private one fish, two fish class on Friday that I'm really excited about. It's one of our classes where we explore fish, and in this part of the country, we're not landlocked, you guys. We have great access to fish, but so many people are so have so much trepidation around fish, which you shouldn't. So, but if you come to any of those classes, you know that I love Louisiana drum. It's one of my favorite fishes, and it's light, it's flaky, and it's a blank canvas, lots of flavors. But the big part of what's happening with this fish is I'm making a browned butter pecan sauce with Bergeron pecans, and we are so excited to use them, but we also carry them here in the store. It's something that's a pantry staple for me. This box is a regular in my pantry, so I'm so excited to use these. So I'm gonna get started. I've got a nice hot skillet, and I've got my 2 fillets of Louisiana drum, and I've used our Chackbay seasoning, and it's not Chackbay, it's Chackbay. And so this is my play on Old Bay, which is a very well-known seafood seasoning, but I decided to play on that a little bit and call it Chackbay, which is a little town here in Louisiana. So this is obviously full of bay, but I have paprika, and I have some really interesting things in here like cinnamon and nutmeg. It's a really fascinating spice blend, and it is perfect for seafood. So I've got this Louisiana drum ready to go, Chackbay seasoning, and I'm gonna go into my very hot skillet with, this is a hot cast iron, so I'm gonna go in with avocado oil, and I'm gonna make sure that's dancing and shimmering and maybe get a couple of wisps of smoke and know that it's ready to go. And then I'm gonna go down with that fish with the seasoning blend on it. Oh, I wanna hit it with a little bit of salt as well. So I'm gonna go down into that oil with what would have been the skin side down, the skin is removed, and let that sear and get a really distinctive brown char on it, and we got that great sizzle, which is what we're looking for. So I want to get a really distinctive golden brown cook on one side, and really cook it 75% of the way through on one side. Then I'll turn it, reduce the heat. You guys, you're less than 10 minutes to dinner with this right here. So I'm gonna let that do its thing. It's really sizzling away, and we want to get it really distinctly brown on one side, and then we'll turn it. So I'm gonna let that do its thing, and I'm gonna make the brown butter sauce. So I'm gonna move over right here so you can see the corner of that, and let me get some heat under that, and then we're gonna make our brown butter sauce, and I'll be able to keep an eye on that. Okay, so I've got 4 tablespoons of butter in this little pot here. Oh, I'm not showing you guys all the juicy close-ups today, am I? Okay, let's see. So 4 tablespoons of butter. I'm gonna crank this heat up because I need this butter to bubble and foam, and then I'm gonna turn the heat down. But that's all that's in there. It's 4 tablespoons of butter. I wanna get a really nice bubble on that. And then once it starts bubbling, it's gonna brown pretty quickly. So what's browning in there are those milk solids. They are, falling to the bottom and browning. And what happens is you transform that butter into an amazing, rich sauce that, to me, is just liquid gold. That's how we describe it so many times on the website. You search brown butter, you'll get lots of recipes, not only savory recipes, but baking recipes. So we do a browned butter cookie, so you can brown butter, put it back in your fridge to harden, and then proceed with your cookie recipe with that cold butter. Amazing. So I'm starting to get some bubbles on here, and then what's gonna go in is 1/3 of a cup of chopped Bergeron pecans. So these guys are the unroasted pecans that I just gave a little zhuzh in a food processor. And we're going to drop those into the butter and let them cook along with the butter. While the butter browns, those pecans will cook. Just need to keep an eye on them. Make sure they're not scorching, you know, manage your heat. But you want them to cook along with the butter and get nice and golden brown. And then we're going to use that as a sauce on the fish. So let me take a peek at everything and see how I'm doing. I've got my fish here. It's gorgeous. I'm going to pop my heat up a little bit. I want that to be moving along. And let's move that over so you guys can see what's happening there. But that fish is bubbling away and getting nice and brown, and it smells amazing. I love what those sweet spices do in that Chackbay Blend. Really interesting, not what you would expect in a South Louisiana seafood blend, but trust me, it works, especially when we hit it with a little butter and lemon. It's all perfect. This is bubbling away, and I'm going to go in with my pecans. And so now I want them to grab a spoon. Now we want them to all start to brown and get golden brown together. And so it's going to start to smell nutty, hence the pecans, but the brown butter does start to smell nutty. And we're going to get some beautiful, beautiful brown color on there. So it's bubbling away. I'm going to manage my heat here just a little bit and turn that down. And then I want to take a peek at this fish and see if it's ready to turn. And it definitely is. And it is GBD, you guys, golden brown and delicious. So let me have you guys, thank you, Chelsea. Move that here. And there it is. And it's absolutely gorgeous. And it's starting to flake on that other side. And this is like most every protein that we cook here in the shop. We take that protein, whether it's a steak, a piece of chicken, salmon, we take that protein and we get it just about 75% of the way cooked on one side, taking care that it's not burning, but get it cooked all the way, almost all the way through on one side, and then we turn it and finish off the cooking. So that is finishing up, and let me see how my pecans are doing. So I was so excited to connect with the Bergeron folks. We sell lots of local products in the store. There's definitely lots of love here for local artisans, and so Bergeron's is a perfect fit. And I'm using their unroasted whole pecans today that I did grind. But they make a roasted pecan that's lightly seasoned, and it is, first of all, it's an amazing snack. It needs to be on your charcuterie board. But they are amazing, and we did a pecan rice with them here on Facebook Live recently. That was delicious. But those roasted pecans are just the thing for so many dishes. I've even used them in, do you know those snowball cookies, Chelsea? They're called cocoons, or Mexican wedding cookies, or snowballs. They go by many, many names. It's a round cookie with powdered sugar on the outside.
Yes.
You guys know what I'm talking about. I've used those spiced roasted pecans in that cookie, and it's just that little something that you're like, should that spiced savory pecan be in a cookie? Yes, it should. It's absolutely amazing. Okay, that's looking gorgeous. I'm going to let it get a little more brown. It's foaming, so it's hard to see, but I want you all to see the color in this. So let's see, there we go. So this beautiful, there, you can see there, that beautiful brown color. Oh gosh, it smells so good, you guys. And that is just about where I want it to be, with that little, I'm just about to like a caramel color with that butter. And those pecans, I can smell that they're toasting. I'm curious how my fish is doing. Here I am. Oh yeah. So that's just, yeah. So it's nice and firm. You want it to be firm. When we give descriptions of cooking fish at our website, and when we teach here in our classroom, we're very, very specific about what you should feel, look, see, and then even in internal temperature and the amount of time. So fish, you want it to be firm to the touch. You want it to be opaque white all the way through. You want it to flake when you hit it with a fork. And so we give all those really just, and that's depending on that piece of fish, but right here with this one, we were probably 7 minutes or so. But we try to be super specific because we know you guys out there are counting on those recipes to get you to that delicious meal. Okay, so this sauce, I've got it on very low, and I'm gonna go in with green onions and a little bit of parsley. Let me chop my parsley. Am I still here, Chelsea? Mm-hmm. All right, let me chop my parsley. Good. And then a little bit of salt and pepper. And we're going to spoon that over our fish. And I threw some green beans in the oven just so I would have something on the plate. What?
Those are fantastic. Those are gorgeous.
We just roasted a quick pan of green beans.
Someone asked, how do you keep the fish from breaking apart in the skillet?
So with some fish, it depends on the fish, it's just going to happen. A lot of that has to do with the cut, that it was just cut too small. And so that's just going to happen with some fish. So I just try to, you know, when I'm choosing my fish, a nice larger piece that seems sturdy. But when it's thin on the edges, there's not a whole lot you can do to keep it from breaking apart. So I get super picky. I get my black drum from Tony's Seafood here in Baton Rouge. And for those of you who are in Baton Rouge, you know what I'm talking about. But I get super picky with them about when they're cutting my fish because I want these pieces, like you see here, that are larger and sturdy and won't fall apart. But look, it all eats the same. So you're still in the delicious world, even though it may have fallen apart. Okay, it needs a little bit of lemon juice. And then that is ready to top our fish. Okay, move that guy over. I'm going to do a little bit more parsley, and then I'll have a little bit extra fresh to put next to the fish. Okay, so that's looking amazing. Get my plate. Let me get some green beans. So simple roasted green beans. I just did our celery, which is a French salt. Garlic avocado oil, and salt, the French salt and pepper. And so I've got these beautiful roasted green beans. I'm going to come alongside and get my piece of fish. There we go. Who asked the breaking question? Because it's their fault that my fish is breaking. I'm just kidding. So there's my fish.
Cappy Merrick.
And let's get some sauce. And this gorgeous brown butter pecan sauce with Bergeron's pecans, a little bit of green onion, a little bit of parsley, some lemon. How long were we here, Chelsea? 15 minutes?
Yeah,
12 minutes?
Not long.
Come on, you guys.
Quick dinner.
That's supper. We just did it. All right, I'm going to take a bite, talk to you guys with my mouth full. I love doing this with you all. Thank you for watching. We have a blast coming up with these. All right, I had a fork. Here it is. All right, let's see how I did. Oh, it's flaking perfectly. It's beautiful. The pecans are intermixed with the brown butter. It's going to be hot. I'm going to burn the roof of my mouth. Here I go. Oh, it's so hot.
Wish everyone could smell it.
Oh gosh, so good, you guys. So the nuttiness, the umami, the richness from the brown butter, that little brightness of lemon, along with that last hit of parsley, balances everything perfectly. I love the crunch from the pecans. Look, if you don't like fish, this can go on chicken. You could just eat these green beans with this pecan sauce, this brown butter sauce. It's absolutely delicious. Really, really beautiful. Super fun. Thank you, Bergerons, for letting me come on Facebook Live and cook with your products. So much fun. It's absolutely delicious. We'll have this up on our website. And I love doing this with you guys. I will see you next Wednesday at 4:30. And have a great week. Bye, guys.